It is currently January 2nd, 2026, and in today's video, we are going to be going back through and updating my net worth for the month of December 2025. Now, if you guys are new to my channel or new to finances in general, basically, to update your net worth, all you need to do is take your total assets and subtract it from your total liabilities, and you get your net worth. And what's nice about knowing your net worth is you can see, especially if you track it month over month, how you're trending with your finances. If you're going in the right direction, if you're going in the wrong direction. And at the end of the day, we just all want to go in the right direction with our finances. Now, before we get into actually plugging in the numbers here, first things first, I hope you guys had a great holiday/Christmas with your family or by yourself, and I hope you guys had a safe New Year's. I think 2026 is going to be a great year. I know everyone says that at the beginning of every single year. They go, oh, it's going to be a great year this year and it's going to be a great year that year, but I do think 2026 will be a good year for a lot of different people, right? I have a pretty good outlook on 2026. So I hope you guys, fulfill it to the best of your abilities. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys plan to do, either personally or financially with your 2026, what goals you want to achieve and so forth. I'll let you guys know kind of some of my goals at the end of this video once I'm done plugging in these numbers. Now, one thing I do want to say too, if the audio is a little bit off or it just looks a little bit different, that's because I am currently in the process of moving, so my desk is not the desk I usually record on. The tripod or stand is not the stand. I'm not even sitting in a normal chair. I'm sitting in like a weird little step stool ladder thing. So I'll show you guys a video of what I'm working with. So first off, this is the chair I'm working with. This is like a little fold out thing that I've had since I was like 5 probably. Here's the desk setup. It's not bad, right? It actually looks pretty decent. My monitor is currently not even attached to anything. It's actually leaning up against the wall, which is really safe. I highly recommend all you guys do that. This monitor is cutting off like half the screen technically from where I'm sitting. My tripod is currently a light bar right here that I'm just putting my phone right there to record myself. And then this dusty light, don't blame me for the dust, I know it's pretty bad, but this light right here usually sits down here, but now it's up here because I don't have the room. So that's the desk setup we're working with. So yeah, that's why things might look a little bit weird in this video. But anyway, let's get into the video here. All of these numbers for my net worth I took as of this morning. So like I said, it's January 2nd is Friday. You guys will probably see this video on Friday. I'm going to try to upload it today. If not, it'll be tomorrow. But regardless, these numbers were taken right when the market opened. So these are as fresh as I could get them without checking them literally right now. But let's go ahead here. Let's get into the net worth. Let's start updating my different accounts here, and I'll kind of let you guys know my mindset, my thought process, and what I'm gonna do to help myself in the new year. So let's get into it. So starting off the video, like most of my other videos with my net worth, is gonna be my Wells Fargo checking account. Now, I'm sure most of you guys watching this video probably have a checking account, and this is about as basic as it comes, right? This is your standard everyday checking account. Now, in this account here, I have a staggering $18, I'm not typing, I have a staggering $18.05 in this account. So yeah, that it's not bad, right? Like, I'm not upset I have $18, but I probably will have to transfer some money into that account if I want to afford, I don't know, bread tonight, because $18 is not a lot of money in 2026. But I have $18 in this account. Now, the reason this account is so low is because I've just been investing. Like, every time I get paid, I invest it or I pay some towards my car. So my checking account has been extremely low. Now, rolling into my savings account, you'll notice a pretty big jump in my savings account. Now, the reason there's going to be a big jump in my savings account is because I got a little bit of a bonus from work. And instead of investing that money, so like I mentioned in the beginning of the video, I am moving soon. And moving soon as in I'm moving next week. Now, I'm moving with my girlfriend, and the reality is I want cash on hand for this move. I want cash that I can quickly transfer just in case any emergencies come up, and more so, we don't have furniture. Like, I'm bringing my desk, she's bringing bookshelves, and that's it. That's literally the furniture we're bringing. So we're going to need like a couch. We're going to need chairs. We're going to need some kitchen stuff. So I do want to have some cash on hand for the move and for furnishing the apartment. Now, obviously, here's where one of my financial habits comes in. We need to live below our means. So I'm not going to go crazy. I'm not going to buy like a $4,000 couch, but I want to have cash on hand to make certain moves. Now, I will say too, I do also want to invest some of this money, but instead of investing in my taxable brokerage, I actually wanted to invest in my Roth IRA. So I was waiting for the first week of January to actually start deploying this money. That way I can work on maxing out my Roth IRA versus pouring money in my taxable brokerage account and then being like, oh, I wish I maxed out my Roth IRA. Anyway, enough yapping. In this account here, I have $7,372.15. There we go. It rounded up for me. Perfect. So like I said, a little heavy on that cash position there in that account. As you can see, that's usually a lot higher than it usually is. But this money is going to get deployed correctly here in the next couple of weeks. Probably the next net worth update video, you'll see that cash position trimmed down quite a bit, whether it's for good or for worse. Next is my high yield savings account. This is an account that I live by. I believe everyone should have their emergency fund sitting in a high yield savings account. I got paid interest yesterday on the 1st, and if you had a high yield savings account, you'd get paid interest on the 1st. I use SoFi. I like SoFi a lot. I think it's a very clean app to use. I think the user interface, they make it very nice. I invest in SoFi, like their stock, so I do like SoFi a lot. Now, in this account, I have $25,334 in this account. I usually like to keep this account around $25,000. Once I get above $25,000, I like to pull out and either pay off my car or invest it. You'll see a common trend here with me where if I have extra money, I'm either doing one of two things. I'm investing it or I'm paying off my car. Those are the two things I'm going to do with whatever extra cash that I have. Now, this account also doubles as a future down payment on a house. And depending on how long the outlook is for that, I might trim this down a little bit more in 2026 and get more of my money deployed in the stock market. Because let's be honest, if I took a lot of this money last year and invested it, I'd probably be already at like $150,000 net worth with the gains that I experienced last year. But I left in a high yield savings account. So, it's good because that money's safe, but at the same time, I could have experienced a lot more growth if I actually deployed that money. So I am very self-aware when it comes to that. So this year, one of my financial goals is to figure out what I'm going to do with this account. Whether I'm going to deploy most of it into the investments, whether I'm just going to, start getting really aggressive with paying off my car, or if I'm going to hold it and think, hey, maybe next year I'll buy a house and I'll keep some of this cash on hand for when that down payment comes up. Next is my T. Rowe Price account. This account's still at $0. If you look at August 2025, you'll see this is when that account dropped to $0. And this was a previous 401k that I had with an employer that I rolled over into my Empower Retirement account. So this account's now at $0. That leads us into my Empower Retirement account, which is currently my full-time 401k with my current employer. Now, this account right now saw some decent growth last month. We're sitting at $33,221.48 on this account. So nice little $1,000 gain there. Now, my Fidelity brokerage, this is just my taxable brokerage account here. This is just, my basic investing account. This account basically has two positions in it. It has VU and it has VGT. There's some individual stocks in there, but for the most part, it's about 40% VU and about 30% VGT. Now, I did also open some positions on gold and silver as long-term plays. And of course, right when I buy gold and silver, it, dips 8%. Of course, that's my luck, right? Like, that's all of our lucks. I'm like, I don't invest in gold and silver. I should probably buy some gold and silver. So I'm like thinking I'm all smart, put like $250 into silver. I check my account the next morning, it's down 6%. But that's where emotions come into play. Instead of freaking out, once again, I'm using this as a very long-term investment, so I don't care if it goes down 6%. I just hope it's up X% in the next 20 years. But anyway, this account right now is sitting at $4,100, 9 cents, and 58. Oh, I said $4,100. $4,109.58. I'm 25 now and I still don't know how to say certain numbers. Next account is my Roth IRA. Now, this account I did put some money in this morning because our contribution limits got reset since the new year. And what's cool is I actually didn't know this. this year I can do $7,500 instead of $7,000. I think they upped it for 2026, which is kind of cool. So I got a little bit more work to do with my Roth IRA. In this account here, we are sitting at $14,114.52 in this account. So there we go. Nice little, once again, nice little gain there. And next is my crypto account. Now, crypto has been very sideways. It's been very boring, to say the least. It's not fun to invest in crypto right now. You know, no one's seeing 10x gains. But once again, I invest in Bitcoin because I believe in the long-term future of it. I think it's a good way to hedge yourself against fiat currency. So I'm fine that Bitcoin's been sideways because for me, that's just more buying time in my eyes. Now with crypto, my account is currently sitting at $13,868.84. This account. And like I said, this is majority Bitcoin. I have some XRP, but for the most part, this is pretty much mostly sitting in Bitcoin. And I will say what I'm hoping for is, you can see here in September, my crypto account was at $16,000. And 3 months later in December, 4 months later in December, it's at $13,000. I have not sold any positions, and I've literally been buying Bitcoin every single day since this $16,000. So if we get a point in 2026 where Bitcoin jumps back up to like 120, which I hope is likely. If it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But if it does happen, I might be at like over $20,000 in crypto, which would be pretty cool because that'll jump up my net worth quite a bit. Now, lastly is my vehicle equity. Some people think you should not include your car on your net worth. I'm a believer where you should include your car. It is a depreciating asset, but I like including my car because, let's just be honest. Let's say I got fired tomorrow and I'm like, gosh, I need money or I need to get rid of something. I could sell my car and make money off of it. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's an asset. As long as I can sell it, it is an asset. Now, once again, is it a depreciating asset? So you have to account for depreciation. Now, one thing that's funny too is I don't ever want to inflate my net worth in an improper way to just show you guys that I'm like, oh, look how well I'm doing. Like all of these numbers are literally to the penny. And I don't want to, BS you guys or anything like that. Like I want to show you guys my actual finances. I actually did the KBB value of my vehicle because I was interested, right? So I plugged in my mileage, plugged in my VIN. It actually said my vehicle's worth over $15,000, which I found very surprising. But I have been keeping it at $14,000. And for the sake of this, I'm just going to keep it at $14,000. I don't want anyone thinking I'm inflating my net worth. I don't want to inflate my net worth. So even though the KBB value is actually showing over $15,000, let's just be honest, if I tried to sell it tomorrow, I'm not going to get top dollar for it because someone's probably going to haggle you and whatever. So I'm just going to keep it at $14,000. So that puts my total assets for the month of December 2025 at $112,000. $112,400. Gee, you'd think for someone who cares about his finances so much, I could say numbers correctly, but I can't. Anyway, $112,000. So that is almost $7,000 of growth in a month, which is pretty good. That's a pretty decent number. I think I'm going to be very close to $100,000 net worth. I'm not going to make it there, which is unfortunate, but I'm going to be very close because I did pay off some of my car a little bit more. So those are my assets all added up, $112,000. That's pretty legit in my opinion. Now, my credit cards, financing services, these are all going to stay at zero. I have not used any of my credit cards. I have not used any financing services. I'm actually going to give myself a pat on the back for that because this was the first, a little bit of insight into my life. Me and my girlfriend love getting each other gifts for Christmas. Like we go all out. Like I'll get her 10 gifts. She'll get me 10 gifts. We have our own little Christmas night. And I'll be honest, usually it's a little financially high. You can look at last year in December. I was at $2,000. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes I go a little overboard. I like to, buy my girlfriend nice things. She likes to buy me nice things. So we repay the favor. This was the first year ever that I actually did not put any Christmas gifts or anything on a credit card. So I actually see that as a pretty good win. We went up $7,000 in total assets, and I did not put one Christmas gift on a credit card, so I have no debt, no credit card debt entering the new year. Pretty happy about that. Anyway, enough I yap so much. Let's get into the auto loan here. With the auto loan, I paid off a little bit more of my car. My car right now, my auto loan is sitting at $15,988 and a penny. So if I'm doing the math here, I should be around $96,000 net worth, $97,000 net worth after paying off my car another $1,000. So let's see where we're at to end off 2025. $96,016. Pretty happy with that. So looks like month over month here, I went up about $8,000 in net worth. If we're looking at November 2025 here to December 2025, went up about $8,000. And if we look at year over year, so if we look at December 2024 to December 2025, I went up about $32,000, which once again here, right? I just want to point this out. I always like pointing this out so you guys know that you can do it. You can do this. Like you can make, sorry for my language, shitty money, and you can do really good with your finances. Just to let you guys know a timeline. I got promoted full-time in September of 2025, which means from December to August, I was making $19 an hour. So I still don't make a lot of money. Like take home now, after taxes, after everything, you talk about my net income. After I got promoted, my full-time job, I make $50,000. And I know to some people it's gonna be like, wow, that's a lot of money. But let's be honest, like I'm in a data analytics field. I have my degree in computer science. In my opinion, $50,000 take home is not that much money, right? Like that's not that much money if we're being honest. It's just not. I'm not being ungrateful. I'm just calling it is what it is. You'll see guys on YouTube being like, oh, I make $150,000 with my software job, or oh, I make $125,000 a year. I make $50,000 a year. Like I don't make that good of money in comparison to some of these guys on YouTube, but we have smart financial habits in place. We make smart financial moves, and it just goes to show you that you don't need to make a lot of money to do good with your finances. Like I increased my net worth $32,000 basically in 1 year. And that's more than I was making in the beginning of the year. And now that's still over half of what I take home on a yearly basis. So that's pretty impressive. But once again, I'm not saying that to like glaze myself. I'm saying that for you guys, where if you're out there watching this video and you're like, I make $15 an hour, $20 an hour, $10 an hour, and I'm never going to be in control of my finances. Bro, you can literally be in control of your finances. Just make smart financial decisions, track your net worth, get a budget, and you can do this yourself. I guarantee you there's people who make way more money than me who are way worse with their finances or have negative net worths because they spend their money, they don't have smart financial habits, all of the above. You know what I'm saying? So this just goes to show you that like you don't need to make a lot of money to be in control of your finances. Like I know if you guys are out there and you guys are making less than $50,000 a year, less than $40,000 a year, you can do this. Like you can start updating, you can start upgrading your net worth and trending in the right direction. It's not easy, but you're gonna have to make some sacrifices, but you guys can definitely do it. Now, enough on that subject. Let's talk about 2026, right? I'll finish off with 2026. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I think 2026 is gonna be a great year. I hope you guys have a great 2026. For me, I have two kind of financial goals, right? My first financial goal is to hit $100,000 net worth, which if things are going in the right direction, hopefully I can do in January or February. I'm $4,000 away now from hitting that $100,000 number. Hopefully we can make it there. I need the stock market to go in the right direction. I need my auto loan to get paid off a little bit more. But I really believe that January, February, I will hit $100,000. That's my first thing. My second thing is I've never paid rent. I'm very lucky. I'm 25 years old. I still live with my parents. And the whole reason my net worth even looks like this is because I live with my parents. If I did not live with my parents, I'd be in a much more difficult situation. Now, with that being said, like I mentioned too, I'm moving out next week. Next week is when I move out and I start paying rent for the first time in my life. And I really hope that I can continue. I shouldn't say I hope. I believe I know that I'll be able to continue in the right direction even though I'm paying rent. But my goal to myself and to you guys is that I'll still be able to make these videos, my net worth videos, and even while paying rent and even while trying to furnish an apartment, we'll still trend in the right direction, because that's all I can ask for at the end of the day. You know, rent's expensive. Luckily, my girlfriend's helping me with rent because she makes around the same amount of money I do on a yearly basis. So that's going to help out a lot. But I just want to, you know, even while I'm paying rent, I still want to make sure my finances are trending in the right direction. That's kind of like the main big goal, is like, I'm going to be faced with some hard times. Like I said, I'm, you know, paying rent, paying utilities, it's going to get expensive. I'm not going to have family around me. It's going to be in a new state. So being able to navigate life and still keep finances in the forefront, because what happens is a lot of times, you know, when life gets noisy and people start getting unmotivated with their finances, the first thing they do is throw it out the window. They'll throw their budget out the window. They'll start spending more money. They'll start getting emotional, all that stuff. So I want to make sure that while I'm paying rent, while I'm dealing with life, I can still trend in the right direction with my finances. That's kind of like my main goal. Personal goals, that's my homework for this, you know, this weekend, is I got to come up with my personal goals. I actually have, here, I'll show you guys. This is the chair I'm sitting on, by the way. I don't know if you can see it, but that's my chair. All right, hopefully I'm still in frame here. This was on my door. This was on my door all this year, right? So I'll read you guys through. These were my 2025 goals. These were my personal goals for 2025. The first one was land a full-time position. I did that. The next one was work out 3 to 4 times a week. Didn't do that. The third one was continue to invest money. I did that. The fourth one was read and grow my book collection. Didn't do that. The fifth one was make more money. Did that. The sixth one was own/rent a property. Didn't do that. The seventh one was be grateful for each day. I think I did pretty good at being grateful. The eighth one was get 1% better each day, which I think I did get 1% better each day. The ninth one was embrace challenges. I think I did good at that. The 10th one was continue to be a learner. I think I did good at that. And the 11th one was to have better posture. Didn't do that. So those are my goals for 2025. Next is 2026. We're going to have to come up with some goals for 2026 on a personal level that I'll work on this weekend. So anyway, I think that pretty much wraps up the video here. Trending in the right direction. You know, if you guys are updating your net worth, I hope you guys, if your net worth goes down one month, it's okay. You just got to get back on track and aim for the next month, right? What's nice about tracking your net worth is, or what's not what's nice about it, but one thing I will say about it is, don't get down on yourself if your net worth isn't just straight up. You know, like, things are expensive nowadays. You know, managing your finances is not an easy skill. You know, I've been trying to understand my finances for almost 2 years now. So if your net worth goes down one month and then up one month and down one month, that's okay. As long as your future outlook on your finances is good, that's all that matters, right? If it's down one month, think about the next month. What can I do better? All that type of stuff. So anyway, let me know in the comments down below what you guys are doing for 2026 as far as personal goals, financial goals. Obviously, if you're comfortable with sharing that. I hope you guys have a great 2026. I'll see you guys in February. February, actually, that's crazy to say. I'll see you guys in February for the next net worth update. Hopefully we hit that 100K mark. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great day. I hope you guys have a great weekend. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Have a good one.